So, let's start with Mechtoid. Take a Sectoid and put it in a mech. What you get is a dumb mech that gets shielded with Mind Link and can fire twice a turn. So you kill whoever is Mind Linking it and then gun this thing down with extreme prejudice. Honestly, never been much of a threat. Berserker. Oh, and Psy Panic works well. Muton Elite. Muton, but red. Also, its leader has every ability under the sun and will murder you. Got to be controlled, otherwise you're dead. Heavy Floater. Remember Floater? Bigger, more armor, has a grenade, and its leader has critical system targeting, which gives big crits against mechanical targets. Sectoid Commander. Sectoid, but red. Also has mind control and overpower, which is annoying. Sectopod. Sir, this is a Wendy's, and you brought a goddamn tank. I'm sorry, but I just have to pause here and rant for a second. You're telling me that the friggin' aliens came to Earth from wherever the hell they came from and brought a bloody bipedal tanks, and despite the battle taking place in our backyard, we cannot even bring a measly A-10 Thunderbird against the existential threat against humanity. Just imagine the Warthog Gatling gun modified to fire plasma. Yeah. But instead, what do we get? Some discount paratroopers that have to claw and beg for any upgrade they got. If I do not get to bring in guns that I have in my backyard to a gunfight going on in my backyard, then what's the point? I mean, we do see Central calling in an airstrike on one mission, so why don't they just call an airstrike on this nonsense? I mean, it's a tank! It's a goddamn tank! It fires a giant pew-pew laser at a high accuracy. Can carpet bomb an area, and goes to Overwatch automatically every turn. Oh, if that was not enough, it has another gun that it pulls out of its literal behind to Overwatch with. Your best bet is prepare to hold for your life. This way you can save at least one turn. It does have one weakness though. It suffers from a terrible case of ADHD, and can forget what it was doing and end up doing nothing instead. But do not really count on this happening often. This here is my recommendation to deal with them. 1. Arc Rifle. It sucks for everything else but mechanical targets, so have one person, preferably a medic or an engineer, with this thing. 2. Critical systems targeting on infantry or snipers. Pretty clear cut, this is especially where it comes in handy. 3. Suppression and gas grenade. It fixes itself between turns. Basically heals itself by a lot, and if you do not use gas grenade, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. Ethereal. This one actually needs a strategy. Fortunately, 95% of the time they are super aggressive. In fact, it is very surprising that the race with this little sense of self-preservation ever achieved spaceflight and did not go extinct. They will mind control at least one of your soldiers and then will use Distort Reality to take very little damage. They also tend to activate their deflection shield on the first turn you see them, so you cannot really snipe them. The solution is up close and personal, and then put your snipers in Overwatch for the first turn and then snipe the hell out of it till it dies in the next turn. In 2 turns, he can easily wipe the floor with you, unless you are very lucky or very prepared. What works very well against him is the gene mod that turns mind control into a 1-turn stun. It is absolutely worth it, and all of your frontliners should equip it. Ethereals tend to mind control based on proximity and threat. Now, let's talk briefly about Exalt. At first, I was not sure if I was going to cover Exalt, mostly because they are just Wish.com version of your own soldiers. They do have one advantage though. Your men, for some reason, set their weapons to stun when fighting these guys. It is very strange how little damage you end up doing most of the time. Sure, they all got classes, same ones as you, and all that, but honestly, by using 2 brain cells you can figure out what they do. They're really not special, and they're only a problem when they just summon in units from outside the map. What these guys do have, though, is Adrenaline Surge, which increases their defense by 50. What does that mean? it means your ult chance to hit to them has just gone down by 50%. These guys are basically Xcom from Wish if they made steroids and all gene mods legal. They do not have psionics or mechs yet, so that is a relief. An important mention about their boss that you encounter only in the Exalt base. Be careful and save all of your firepower against this guy. Do not go too far and slowly kill off his henchmen and then engage him when you can, because he does not mess around. Next, we are going to cover missions.